Welcome or welcome back to the Lockwood Chronicles. My name is Larissa, and today we are doing some bookish questions. If you live under a rock and don't know who Destiny Sara and Sara are here on BookTube, well, let me explain them to you. So they are two booktubers. They also have a podcast and they are the Bookish Besties along with Haley Pham. On their podcast, they always do like these fun little questions at the end or a little game at the end of their podcast. And I love a podcast. When they released this episode, I was like, I want to answer these questions. So here we are. We're answering bookish questions. And there are 16 of them. And that is my second favorite number. So it's meant to be. Yay! I also have some little nerd gummies. Or like the nerd gummy clusters. Comment down below which ones you prefer if you like these. Do you like the red ones or the blue ones? I like the red ones. And I know Destiny likes the blue ones. But these are for her in her honor. I also, you know, have my protein shake and my water because we are both hydrated and swole. I will also have these questions in the description box below in case you want to comment through and tell me what your choices are, as well as the podcast episode linked. All right, first question is, if you were an author, which genre would you publish? Definitely a romance. I think we can establish that. I could not do a fantasy. As much as I would love to be a fantasy or a romantasy author specifically, I don't have that big brain energy there. That is a lot of planning, and especially if it's a series, I don't have that forethought. As much as of a planner that I am nowhere near the planning that takes place in these type of series. A romance, a cute little fluffy cotton candy, sugar sweet, nerd cluster romance. That's me. Or like a contemporary romance, like ooh, a sports romance. I could do a sports romance. I'm sporty. A pickleball romance. Let me just exit out of here and get to working on that. Okay, now I'm just thinking about it. Second question, if you could switch places with an MC in a book, who would it be and why? You know, this really doesn't need any further explanation than Feyre here in the ACOTAR series. I think we all know how much I love ACOTAR, and I love a certain High Lord in ACOTAR. And I would love to switch places with Feyre to be with that High Lord. Oof. Feyre's awesome. It makes me... The Hunger Games and ACOTAR really made me want to take up archery. And when I read The Hunger Games when it first came out, oh, I really wanted to take archery, and just getting to relive some of that in ACOTAR. What's a finished book series you wish would be longer? We're going with the Maasverse again. Lovely Throne of Glass. Sarah J Maas also did this like little blue novella, A Court of Frost and Starlight. And it's very similar to like the holiday special of your favorite TV show. Would love a little novella just to see how everybody's doing, and just I want a Christmas special of them. I want a holiday special of them just living their lives, being happy as clams. And I would love that. Also, I would love for it to never end. Harry Potter is also like up there, but I'm gonna stick with Throne of Glass. An author you would want to meet. I have said this before, but I think Emily Henry and I would be pretty tight. I think we would be besties, so I would love to meet Emily Henry. Midwest girlies, we gotta stick together. What is a book you wish you could read again for the first time? For the sake of like not making this all about ACOTAR, I will say A Court of Mist and Fury, this green one here. I wish I could read that for the first time again. It was just such a canon event, everything in it, and I loved it. I loved it so much. Again, to make it not all about ACOTAR, A Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is definitely one of my favorite books of all time. I am a big fan of Greek mythology. Even though I have read it multiple times, I still sob like a baby at the ending. And I would love to experience that all again for the first time and just be absolutely heartbroken again for the first time. This book sticks with me. Ugh. What are the standalones that could have been a series, and what series that could have been standalones? So for what are standalones that could have been series, I have two of them, and the first one is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. The way this ended, I just want more. I want to see what happens next. And it was a really great ending, but I would love more of it and see the shenanigans of it all. A second book that was actually supposed to be a series when it was written and nothing ever came after it was The Host by Stephenie Meyer. I really loved this book when it came out. It was the first book that she had not written in the Twilight series that was published, and I really enjoyed it when it first came out. I don't know if I would now, but I was quite obsessed with it, and obviously there was a movie made, but it was supposed to be a series and she just stopped. So I would love for this one to be a series just to get some closure. Like, on one hand, it ended in an open-ended way, but could also just be like, use your imagination as to what happened next. But it ended for the series to continue. So it was very disappointing when she decided to not write the remainder of the series. As for the second part of the question, what are series that could have been standalones? This is really hard, actually. You know, I think I'm gonna go with Divine Rivals. It's a duology, so it's really not that big of a series. Not that I didn't enjoy Ruthless Vows. I did, but I feel like it definitely could have probably been wrapped up in Divine Rivals if it was longer. And I mean, I get why she split it up. I just really loved, this is so hard to say, I really loved Divine Rivals. I loved the characters. I loved everything about this and just the focus of this. And I think it could have wrapped up. Ruthless Vows was necessary to wrap it up, but I would have been completely fine if it would have just been Divine Rivals, because this was so amazing. Whereas Ruthless Vows was great, it just focused a lot more on other characters. Not that it was a bad series, I just really don't have anything else that could have fit this prompt here. But I really did enjoy the duology. Ooh, okay. Ship two people as couples from different books. Ooh, okay. This is very tough. All right, we're gonna go with Azriel from the ACOTAR series with Rose from Marriage for One, just because Rose it's a very much grumpy sunshine. I just think Rose would bring out a lot in Azriel and be the sunshine that he needs. But I really love Jack in Marriage for One. Azriel and Jack kind of give similar vibes. Who is your least favorite character in your favorite series? Okay, I have two in the ACOTAR series I have two. Tamlin, if you read the series, you know why. Second in that series is Elaine. What is she doing? Elaine, what are you doing that is useful in this? When we eventually get her books, I hope it's better than the stale bread that is Elaine. So I'm excited to see some character development of Elaine, but honestly, she gives nothing. And I'm happy to hear other people talk about her too. Larry Reed's Destiny and Sara also have commented on just the uselessness of her. She has done nothing to provide for her family. This one is super obvious as well. In Harry Potter, Professor Umbridge. What a freaking monster. I hate her more than I hate Voldemort. And I think that is a universal truth. We all hate Umbridge. She is the absolute worst character in the whole series. Would you rather read at the beach or in the mountains? As much as I love the mountains, I love hiking, I love reading on the beach because I love to just lay there and read a book and soak up some vitamin D with my sunscreen on and with my bucket hat on to protect my face. Ugh, nothing I love more than reading on a beach. I cannot wait for it to get warm enough again to do that all summer. Oh, that was my favorite thing. That just really made my summer so much better last summer. We had a lot of reading vlogs on the beach. Well, on the beach that is next to a lake where I would go. What's one author you can read for the rest of your life, excluding Emily Henry, Sarah J Maas, and Jessa Hastings? I know it says one author, but I'm gonna say two. Taylor Jenkins Reid. I just love her writing. I love the characters that she writes about and develop. But Stephanie Archer is becoming one of my favorite romance authors. I love her books. I think they're just so goofy and just cotton candy, and I love a cotton candy read. But her characters also have depth to them and like a personality. And I love that. I love a personality and I love good looks. And her books have both. Personality and looks. Wow. Who's a book character that would do well in another series? Ooh, yes. Okay. Katniss Everdeen in the whole Massiverse. She would be fantastic. You slot her into anything, she will succeed, Katniss Everdeen. She's got what it takes. Yeah, no doubt about it. As well as Lana from the Mindfuck series. Throw her in Throne of Glass. Her and Selena, oh, wow. They would be a power couple. Or they would not do well together. But I feel like they would do very well together. Could you imagine? That would be awesome. Lana would also do well in Butcher and Blackbird, too. Because serial killers. Butcher and Blackbird in the Mindfuck series, you could interchange any of the female characters or the characters, and they would kick butt. They would be just fine. Either way. If you could choose one series to be never ending, which would it be? I'm sorry, guys. I have two answers because, again, ACOTAR. I love that series so much with my whole heart and soul. But for the sake of not repeating myself, we'll do the Vancouver Storm series by Stephanie Archer because I love a hockey romance, and sport romances could go on forever. Mainly because they get new players, other players retire. It could be ongoing forever, and I love a hockey romance. I love a sports romance. So we'll do the Vancouver Storms because I love it. If you could only reread one book this year, which would you choose? I'm going to go with Happy Place because I do want to reread this one. Yeah, I'm going to go with Happy Place by Emily Henry because that is definitely a book that I would like to reread this summer. I would love to reread all of Emily Henry's books, and I was going to do that last year, and I just got so entranced with all the new releases as well as like getting to my physical TBR. But I really do want to prioritize like rereading some of my favorites. A book that's been on your TBR the longest. Oh, so all of these books, I went through a huge thrifting phase when I really started pushing my booktube channel a few years ago when I was still living at my parents' from when I moved back from Utah. And I bought all of these at Goodwill at around the same time because I really wanted books on my bookshelf and I really wanted to read, and then I prioritized other books. Probably all of these are from the same haul. I don't know. Such a Pretty Face, Fangirl, Love, Rosie, The Peachkeeper, The Wedding Thief, and The Manny. If you have read any of these, let me know if they are worth reading / if I should prioritize one. 6 of them. If I could read all 6 this year, that would be so great. And I definitely can. But will I is the question that we must really ask ourselves. So those have been on my TBR shelves the longest, for sure. What's the ideal amount of pages in a book? 350. This was also Des and Sarah's answer as well. 300, there's something about it, you know? That 300 page mark, anywhere between 300 to 350, sweet spot. I'll even give you 375, but 300 to 350. Thrillers do not need to be more than like 315 pages. They can be nice and short, but I like that sweet spot. Obviously, fantasy is going to need a little bit more, but for the general romance, contemporary, historical fiction, any of that, any other book, we're going to say 350. And the last question, this one is kiss, marry, kill between physical book, Kindle, and audiobook. It's like the hardest thing. Okay, I'm going to kiss my Kindle. I love to read on my Kindle. It is so comfortable. It is so fun. I love Kindle Unlimited. I love reading on my Kindle for books that I do not want to own. It also connects to my library because I have a Libby and I can check books out from my library. It's so great. It is so useful and I love it. And I love the battery life. I love my Kindle so much. However, I will marry a physical book any day of the week. I love a physical book. I love holding it. I love looking at them. They are so pretty and they will always be my preferred way of reading is a physical book, which means I'm gonna kill audiobooks, which is the hardest thing because I love an audiobook because I love listening to podcasts. And that was kind of my thing. I'm like, I still have podcasts. Audiobooks are so great on my long commute. The other two I love more. I'm sorry, audiobooks. I'm so happy that you are here in my life and I'm so happy that I do not have to actually make this huge choice. That is the end of all the questions. So if you would like to, like I said, answer any of these questions, they are listed in the description box below. If you just want to pick a few, it doesn't matter. But I hope you had fun. I just love doing like these cute little bookish videos. I love a sit down video and I love a reading blog. So best of both worlds on this channel here. And speaking of which, if you'd like to stick around for any more bookish content, feel free to hit that subscribe button, hang out with me for a while, as well as like this video. With that being said, respect others, respect yourself, and do something amazing with your day. Thanks, bye!